Yes, welcome to another episode of the Ballinesian podcast. Islanders talking sports, Charger and Raider fan talking NFL football, and everything else you need to know that's going on in sports this week. We are here on the Polytickin network. Definitely check out the YouTube channel, subscribe, support the Patreon, follow us on the socials, follow Pacifica Movie Starter Kit, and on the Spotify and the Apple Podcast streams.
Yeah, those guys are funny. Seriously, that's joke guys.
Some funny guys. Yeah, no, the conversations that we're having are just going all over the place. And we are sponsored by Levasa Island Apparel. Shout out to brother Eri down there in Modesto, California. A bunch of different things going on, but to stay updated, you got to be following the IG page Le_Vasa, and also check out the catalog www.levasaislandapparel.com. I got this the Levasa chunky style Chihu off of the Van Camps logo. It's one of my favorite designs and shirts. Sorry, it's so shiny. Yeah, but definitely check out Levasa Island Apparel.
I'd wear mine, but I'm a little too chunky to wear mine.
You're too chunky.
Yeah,
Man, it's almost time for those hoochie daddy shorts to be coming out, bro. It's that it's warming up, man. Actually, I think it's gonna snow this week.
I was about to say, you better shut up because it's cold.
You're gonna jinx it. It's 53 degrees today, man. We went on like a 3 mile.
For you guys, it's like 32 over here.
Damn, up there, Seattle. What do you say, Seattle area versus
Puyallup. We're in Puyallup. Also, coyotes. I don't know why, but there's coyotes here.
The coyotes.
Coyotes.
Yeah, I like yeah, when nature just shows up. Like,
oh yeah.
Remember the displaced species?
Sure.
Enjoy your house and heater? No.
Right. Just don't eat my dog and my dad who sits in the backyard and smokes cigars. Please. Please.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the weather. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was so bad up there. It's been kind of low. It's been getting low like at nighttime, but I mean, this has been nice and sunny, no rain. Are you guys getting any precipitation, any moisture, humidity?
No, that's a good thing. The sun's out here. It's also very deceiving because like if you're in the shade and you get the sun hits you, then you're like, oh, nice. You know what I mean? Like you think you'd be out in the open, but the sun hits you, so you're kind of deceived. Like, oh, if I go out of the shade into the sun, it'll be even warmer. No, no,
No?
no.
It's a trick. Once you get out into the elements, the wind, everything else.
The wind said, "Ha ha, got you." And now you're out there in t-shirt and shorts like a dummy, going to Winko, and now you're cold, and people are looking at you weird because, yeah. But
I recently just like do not care. I'm in and out. I'm never gonna see these people again. Maybe like the cashiers, sure. Yo, bro, one of the Winko cashiers, like his mom lives next building over to us, so he saw us in the parking lot. And me and Nora always go on like shopping trips, and we go through the self checkout aisle, and he's there. He's like, "Hey, it's you guys," and I was like, "What the hell? This is weird." It's like seeing a teacher out in public. It's like,
she's like, "Look, I pressed 2 on the plastic bags.
Yeah,
I promise.
I pay for those bags. It's so weird. Why are you outside of your workhouse? That's strange. Yeah, we are going to definitely talk about the NFL playoffs. The conference championship have concluded. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the young Commanders in the first game, and the Buffalo Bills were not enough to take down the number 1 seed in the AFC, Kansas City Chiefs.
And the rest. And the rest.
And the rest. What a crazy spot. Yeah, so the Super Bowl is going to be Chiefs Eagles. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're also going to talk about the Raiders introducing their new head coach GM combination this afternoon and how Forrest and the nation are feeling. The Chiefs kind of got that Thanos feeling, that inevitable, this is kind of boring. It's so boring. I'm trying to derail these guys so bad. It is, they've gone to the AFC Championship time 7 straight times to the AFC Championship. Patrick Mahomes' worst end to the season is making it to the AFC Championship and losing. Otherwise, he's gotten to the Super Bowl and won multiple Super Bowls. I think he's only lost the one to Tom Brady. I think Mahomes is like the first thing we have to talk about when talking about the Chiefs, right? They live and die by him. He's the arm, the engine of that offense and that team. They do have great coaches in Andy Reid, an offensive, proven offensive coach. I want to say genius or mastermind, but I don't know. It seems like they're always open though. And then their defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo, who used to be a head coach, could probably get a head coach job the way that defense is so successful. Definitely a blitz
The Raiders
style.
had him on a short list of coaches that were trying to bring in. So
I don't know why he hasn't taken a job. Maybe he just likes winning Super Bowls as a coordinator instead of having
for me
to
though,
take the stress of being a head coach and
like the best coordinators, I think they like being coordinators. I mean, I
sure.
know the next evolution in like being a coordinator would be a head coach, but I think a lot of guys like enjoy being coordinators. They like that aspect of the game. They like just taking care of that side of the ball. You know
Some
what I mean?
are good coordinators and
Oh,
not good coaches.
Josh McDaniel. Yes.
Josh McDaniels, Cliff
Yeah.
Kingsbury, maybe
So Kingsbury. You know what? We can put Mike Vrabel's name in there too, because he didn't really win. He won a lot of games, but
uh,
no significant games.
he had
So
that like bad roster Titans team playing pretty good. I'm interested to see what he does with the Patriots. It was a little weird they shoehorned
for
him in
sure,
there so
for
quickly.
sure. Yeah. I mean,
Uh, but the Chiefs AFC West champions for a long time. I don't even know how many consecutive years. And now the rest of the AFC West is bringing in a bunch of OG Avenger coaches,
oh
Jim
yeah.
Harbaugh, Sean Payton, Pete Carroll, just to try to beat this team that continues to dominate not just the West but the conference and winning Super Bowls. I feel like everyone's going to be rooting against these guys. No one likes the Chiefs, right? Everyone's going to be rooting for the Eagles.
Nobody. Look,
So,
we just named a whole bunch of coaches on their roster that are great coaches, but we haven't named the one coach that's been helping them so far, which is their ref coordinator.
oh my
Uh,
gosh,
their referee coordinator is probably the best referee coordinator in the NFL right now.
who is that?
Yeah. I don't know. Whoever's making the play, whoever's switching the plays for
What's
them.
his name? He's like, I don't want to be named. I think
Now,
someone I
besides
think
that,
it was Nick Wright on FS1 so Josh Allen gets more like roughing the passer calls. But Pat Mahomes, the Chiefs are freaking appointment television. They're on TV. They got 10
yes,
primetime games a year.
yeah,
So when some of these iffy calls go down, people are quick to
super
highlight
visible.
them. And
Yeah,
but I was talking on the Patreon, the Polytickin Patreon. Definitely support patreon.com/the Polytickin podcast. They it doesn't feel like the Chiefs. Well, Seppa was saying the Chiefs got they get calls because the NFL wants them to succeed because they got Taylor Swift. It's going to get them more eyes and stuff like that. That
yeah.
conspiracy, like you're connecting dots, and as humans, we want to make things make sense. How can this small market team, draft a Texas Tech whatever quarterback and turn into like a perennial New England Patriots early 2000s dominant dynasty? They draft well. I feel like it's easy. They draft well, they coach well, they scheme well, they play well. But people will look at the freaking the penalties that look kind of iffy. Or this whole season, we've been talking about the Chiefs like only
Hey,
winning by 3 points, 6 points, 4 points, 2
what you
points,
just
one
said,
point.
you just laid out everything that the Patriots did when they drafted Tom Brady. He came from a bigger school. They're a small market team. It's New England. You know what I mean? Like, really? I know it's Boston, but uh, they went out and got a quarterback who was pretty much. He didn't really start in college. He got drafted. Was it the sixth round, seventh round, fifth round,
6
something like
points.
that? Yeah, came out there. Mahomes was actually drafted higher. He was in the first round, in the first 10 picks. So I mean,
They traded up to get him.
they did.
They like
They
knew
did.
they wanted him, and the Chiefs traded up from like the teens to number 10 to get Mahomes.
Right, right. So like, I mean, yeah, they're pretty much the Patriots of this era. Everybody hated the Patriots.
That's another question that we had that I wanted to ask you specifically, because you might remember the 2000 Patriots like I did, but these guys said that the Chiefs are more hated than the Tom Brady Belichick Patriots were.
I don't know, man. They were pretty hated. Like,
because my thing is, yeah, they were winning. Sometimes they were even dominating teams, like that FU season in 2007. But they got cheating. They got caught cheating so many times that people were like, "Look at these freaking Empire."
No, for sure. And then I'm saying this, but like, I'm not saying it because like I told you, but also because a lot of people think that, like, um, excuse me, like the Kraft family kind of seem like, I'm not saying it, people have said it, but they seemed a little racist, so there was that aspect to it.
Rich white people.
Right, rich white people. Like, I think Kraft would be the next most disliked owner next to Jerry Jones, because if you're not from Texas,
Kraft.
I don't know if you like Jerry Jones. Yeah, I mean, he owned the Patriots. That alone is just like, ugh, Robert Kraft. Ugh.
Yeah, and I know his recent stuff, but I feel like he always that timeline though. The other Boston teams were doing really good too. The Red Sox, the Celtics. Like, it felt like they were.
Those guys, you know how I told Lance earlier today, we were talking about like Detroit, just teams who we think that are better when whatever league they're in, the league seems better when they're playing better. And Detroit's one of those cities, and I think Boston, some of those Boston teams are like that. They're like lunch pail worker, blue collar worker type cities.
Put on for blue collar people. Yeah.
Right. So like when the Celtics go, it's like the regular guy cheers for the Celtics. The regular guy cheers. Boston, the Red Sox had a curse supposedly put upon them. And so when those guys started winning, it was like, let's cheer for them. But the Patriots, it was just, it was like, yeah,
the Red Sox curse was because they traded Babe Ruth to the Yankees.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's definitely.
They didn't win anything for 108 years,
right?
Or was that the Cubs? It was that long.
Yeah. But I mean, you know what I mean? Like, just yeah, like those teams you wanted to cheer for, but when the Patriots started winning, you didn't want to win. And I think everybody at first, except for Oakland, because of the tuck rule or the cheating, tucking thing, whatever.
The people in New England call that the snow game.
Well, you know what?
Everybody else in the world calls it the tuck rule game.
Look, we're trying not to swear on the show that much, so I'm gonna restrain.
We don't have to talk. Yeah, we can move on with that.
No, but I'm with you. I definitely think the Patriots were a more hated team than the Chiefs.
Yeah, but I feel like they're kind of even now. It's basically the dynasty.
I don't know if it's because there's guys in the Chiefs are kind of likable that you can like the Chiefs. Like, I think what really is, I think everybody looks at Patrick Mahomes and it's like the second coming of Tom Brady. So I think people more.
Tom Brady wishes.
Hey, don't talk about our owner like that.
Hey, your owner wishes he could move like this freaking Kermit the Frog. Okay.
Yeah. No, yeah. So I think a lot of the hate comes more with, I think, Patrick Mahomes, and now that like people are discussing about the fake sliding or the um I get the I almost said tanking, the flopping he does, like we saw the other night where he was running out of bounds and he had guys chasing him, and then he slows up right before he gets out of bounds, just so the guys that are behind him can run into him, hopefully getting a roughing the passer or a late hit call. So things like that, it just I know he's trying to win. Winners are always gonna say you're gonna do everything you can to win, every advantage you can, but
take advantage of those quarterback protection rules.
Right. It seems a lot dirtier when he does it. Like,
Oh, when anybody does that, I have the same reaction, kind of like when Harden and people were like just
Oh,
getting people's arms over them and
bro, I still don't like
coughing a
Harden.
foul like that.
Yeah, yeah.
That was annoying. That's kind of the feeling I get with this. But I think they're gonna change they're gonna open up the replay to also include slides and stuff like that. I think
Definitely. But like
they
this
need
win for
to
the
because everyone's talking about it being like
for
a
sure
cheat
a
point.
big thing. Well, and that's what people are saying right now is like the Chiefs could be in trouble, not directly in trouble, but I think with so many complaints, uh, it's coming from also like from everywhere, from up top to the bottom. Fans, coaches, owners are now complaining. They're gonna have to
Owners
take.
are complaining.
Yeah, yeah. There's some owners complaining about it, because of obviously they want their franchises to win too. So there's gonna be a discussion about it. So they say. We'll see. And
Yeah, I mean, until then, the rules are going to continue to get used that way. But yeah, it's
right,
not the
but let's
spirit of the rule
for
because
sure,
it's a protection thing, right? Like if someone
for
gives
sure.
themselves up with enough time, then the defender has enough time and should pull up so as not
That's
to
that's that's the
cause
rule.
that collision
That's the rule.
to like possibly injure the offensive player. And it's especially important when you're going up against a quarterback because the league does not want starting quarterbacks missing games. Because when you get these
Because
backups in, it's not
right,
good offense. It's not good for the views. It's really that's the point where they're like, if they want something to affect positively viewership, they will change the rules. They're
for
not going
sure.
to tell the refs to be like, hey, say Josh Allen didn't do it. That ref was wrong. It looked like Josh Allen got the first
Oh,
down on
definitely,
that one play,
definitely.
but
Yeah.
because it was ruled, a stop on the field, there was not enough evidence to overturn it, so they just had to let it stand, which is annoying. But I don't know. Maybe we need a pylon cam. Maybe it was different. We just saw it from the TV cameras.
For sure.
But Patrick Mahomes specifically, so many accolades. He's already he's trying to get his fourth Super Bowl. If he gets his fourth, he's like it's just him and Tom Brady, right? Tom Brady obviously has 7. Like that's gonna be really hard to get to that. But he's on pace. I think he's 29 years old. He's still got like 10 years left if he wants to.
Hey, he signed the same contract Tom Brady did with the Devil. So easy, easy money.
I mean, so you think he's gonna get 7 Super Bowls?
No, I don't. I think the teams are getting better in the league, and I think they are catching up a lot faster with the Chiefs rather than the way the rest of the league was catching up with New England, because New England kind of just like they really had their foot on everybody's throat, like well, except for the Giants, of course.
It just seemed
Uh,
like if you were playing the Patriots, you had to be perfect,
right,
and
exactly.
they could
And
still beat you in a variety of ways. Defense, always
yeah,
good defense.
but we've seen with the Chiefs that they, especially this season, we've seen a lot of really, really close games that could have gone either way. They probably should have lost a lot of some of these games, a lot. So
Mm.
maybe a lot of these games, but they did it. They found ways to win. Not and
Yes.
again, not like the way the Patriots did. And yeah, besides all the talk of the refs and Patrick Mahomes getting good calls, not don't take away anything from what the Chiefs did because again, like we talked about on the show and everybody else talked about, we're seeing playoff Kelsey again. Um,
Yeah.
Juju Smith is also a different person in the playoffs. You
Oh
know,
my God! Stop. Hold on. Timeout. You know who Jabril Peppers is?
I do,
The
I do.
safety. He had like a domestic assault
So,
case.
but also they said the charges aren't so they're
They
not.
dropped the charge. Well, they
Yeah,
said they dropped
yes,
it, right? But
yeah,
in
they dropped.
court, Jabril Peppers is accused of like having a domestic dispute and like choking his girlfriend who he was
Right.
having sex with because the phone kept calling and another player's name popped up and he was like, "Oh, you're having sex with this guy." And the player's name was Juju. Juju heart emojis. Oh no, brother. Stop it. I just wanted to share that if people were listening. Okay.
Hey, hey, don't talk bad about my nephew, man. Now,
I'm not talking bad about him. I'm just saying what they said in court.
oh man,
Juju, it's good to see Juju. I think he had like 2 or 3 big, like middle of the field get some leg, get some run,
Right.
catches.
Right.
I'm seeing a lot of similarities between those Patriots and these Chiefs, right? You have like a really good quarterback, legendary even. You have a defense that's always humming, that's always putting the other quarterback on pressure. You're trading for a prime legendary receiver after people kind of give up on him. Randy
Right.
Moss,
Right.
DeAndre Hopkins. You have running backs that no one knows their names.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Stop.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we knew their names because these fools were winning a lot. James Cook, Corey Dillon, like the pass backs. You had pass backs for Kevin Falk for the Patriots, and kind of have Mahomes' weapons there. Yeah, Vince Wilfork, Chris Jones. I don't know. We could grab a bunch of comparisons, and they draft well. They draft well. They don't make big trades that mess their franchise up. I don't know. It just seems like it's annoying to have to like think only a freak injury could stop this well-oiled machine.
They drafted well one
But it is a
season.
collision
Got
sport.
Mahomes. That's what happened.
They've drafted. So man, there was just like a slide on. I think it was like 33rd team or something else on Instagram.
No, yeah, they
it went like year by year, Super Bowl by Super Bowl. The trades they made, the draft picks they made, a bunch of like second,
so that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of
seventh round picks too.
It's good drafting, but they've also picked and placed a lot of guys um, through free agency. Like Drew Tranquil, he came over. He was with the team that's never won a Super Bowl before, and he came over and he's got one now. On his way to win a second, maybe. Uh, what team was he with before?
The San Diego Chargers.
They got guys like that. Drew Tranquil, he was a winner before he got there. He great guy. He's been a winner since college, obviously. Uh, went to Notre Dame. Got to the Chargers. He won there too. You know, he had a good career with the
He got
Chargers.
that weird little mini horse collar thing.
Yeah,
it's like a headset, school. Like someone's wearing a headset or something around their neck.
He's old school. He's old school. They got guys like
no,
that.
It's not like a freaking flip.
No, not like one of those. Yeah. I think his is a cowboy collar. He just rolls his jersey over it.
It's like a freaking Bluetooth both sides around his neck. It's like a freaking headband. Like he's wearing a headband.
That's how he's cheating.
The cheaters. Yeah, so the Chiefs are back in the Super Bowl. Josh Allen and the Bills, not enough. What are your thoughts on Josh Allen? Is this like a bad stretch of seasons just going up against, an eventual winner? Like, was there a team that played the Bulls all those years in the 90s and just couldn't get past them, and they were like, man, we got to wait until these guys are finished? Because that feels like what Josh Allen has to do. Like, he's good enough to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's great enough. But he's playing freaking Pat Mahomes every year.
No, for sure. I mean, and someone likened it to one being Manning and the other being Tom Brady, and being able to beat it. And obviously,
that's a good comparison, yeah.
Right. Obviously, Josh Allen in this instance would be Tom Brady.
Peyton Manning?
No, because he can't get past Eli Manning.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
But Peyton and Tom Brady, Colts and Patriots in the AFC for a long time was a really good battle. They always met the postseason.
Yeah. And Peyton couldn't get past him.
Yeah, because the Patriots were winning all those Super Bowls. Right. So that's like Tom Brady. I mean, that's like Josh Allen now.
So it could be either brother, but yeah.
Who's like an MVP, but
just can't
beat these guys. Yeah, for whatever reason.
And I know a lot of people are going to point to Josh Allen because he's like the catalyst of that team. He's what makes them go. But I mean, it's hard to make passes when you're under duress, running from Chris Jones and the linebacker Drew Tranquil. when Hicks is blitzing from his corner safety spot. There was a guy on I'm not gonna call it X. There was a guy on Twitter that
Currently known as X.
yeah, no, I'm sorry. Frick you, Elon Musk. Nazi.
Oh, did not see
We won't
that
get into
coming.
that. That's a whole nother that's a whole nother show. But yeah, so he was pointing out, oh, they run this play. It's this a play where Shakir motions behind Josh Allen
Yeah,
and
yeah, I saw
fakes it
that.
like it's one. So and they run that play and it's always worked for them. Like he like they've run it numerous times on like 4th and 7, and they've always picked up the first down. And so he's highlighting it and he's like, well, Josh Allen should have made the throw that same exact throw to Shakir, but instead he makes the hero throw. No, fool. He has two free defenders
Yeah,
coming at him, and uh, I've never played quarterback, so like at that level, but I imagine that it's hard to be
mm.
running right and turning your hips left while someone's chasing you to make that throw, even
Well,
if Shakur is
he did
wide
like
open.
a step back. He like flattened it out to the sideline to try to get them to turn a little bit, and
No,
then he
yeah,
freaking jumped back to freaking
yeah,
throw the
and
ball as
had
soon
to
as he
catch
could.
it. Yeah,
But
so
that one, and this is why when people are like, "Oh, the refs left the Chiefs," I'm like, the refs aren't the ones calling Chris Jones to the weak side, cornerback double blitz to the opposite side, overloading there, and making Josh Allen throw it a lot
yeah,
quicker than he wanted
there's
to, because
there's
that
only
play was
certain
supposed to spread out. Khalil Shakur, yeah, he's motioning behind Josh Allen to the right, and at the snap, he quickly runs back to the
yeah,
left, which is supposed to, like, if it's man, the guy following him is going to run, keep following
it's
to the
already
opposite
yeah.
side. So you try to break him that way. But it the Spagnola's defense is just blitzy. We know that. We know he's going to send it in high pressure, big time situations, and they usually freak out the opposing quarterback into a throw like that. Now, catchable throw, actually, it turns out,
No, it was.
but
It hit
pressure
Kincaid
situation.
right in the hands, and he didn't catch it. So that's on Kincaid. And again, as much as we all believe that the refs have really questionable calls, they're not the ones catching the ball in that situation.
Mhm.
Kincaid's got to come up with that catch, especially after Josh Allen jumps over like two buildings, hops through one that's on fire, and does hula hoops, and then makes a great pass to him. All that, and he still drops the pass. That's crazy. Yeah, we can talk about the refs all day long, but at the end of the day, your guys are gonna have to make plays. You're gonna have to make plays to win games. You don't want to ever leave the game in the refs' hands. That sucks. That there are plays that we've seen happen like that. But at
Yeah.
the same time, make the plays, and no matter what they call. And I know everybody's like, "Oh, so easy to say." It is easy to say if you make the plays. You make the plays you're supposed to. You end up winning the games. So
If I ever see someone who's been doing good look off or not doing good, that's like scheme. That's either your coach's inability to put you in good situations or the opposing coach's ability to put
right, their
some of their
guys in there.
their players in good situations to mess you up. And a lot of that, I felt like the Bills didn't have it all the way yesterday. They made a couple of bonehead plays. Yo, James Cook though,
I'm
I know
saying.
we've
I've
been
been
talking
saying.
about I
I've been
looked up
saying.
Dalvin Cook, man. He had like he was splitting time with Latavius Murray for the Vikings for a bit, but Dalvin
I'm
Cook
saying.
ended up with like multiple 1,000 yards seasons, like double digit touchdowns and stuff like that. His little brother is in a much better situation, I feel like,
For sure. For sure.
with Josh Allen, a much better quarterback probably than Dalvin Cook ever had, and a pretty good offensive line and
Look,
a offense that likes to run the ball and
right.
are
Well,
looking for someone to workhorse it to get
they're
it away
about to
from
get
Josh
a
Allen so much.
they're about to get a whole season with Amari Cooper. So you know what I
He
mean?
looks so. I don't know what happened to him. Last year with the Browns, he was on fire, but this year he was like their fifth option.
We'll see. Now when the Raiders trade him, everybody's like, "Why'd you trade him?" But now that he's doing that, I don't get this. I don't get this.
uh,
uh, no,
and the Cowboys trade a big pick for him, and then they only like traded him away for a fourth or fifth or something.
Fourth or
and then the Browns got a second.
Yeah.
For trading him to the Bills.
Exactly. See?
Oh, the Cowboys. Brian Schottenheimer.
They could have
What
got
a whiff.
Yeah, I mean, Cowboys fans, sorry, Will, they're gonna tell you things like, no, Schottenheimer knows this is he's Dak wants him, yeah, well, maybe you guys shouldn't have Dak anymore.
Yeah, maybe those aren't the voices you need to be listening to. Unfortunately, the owner is also one of those voices. He's like, I bought this team to play football. I bought this team to play GM. This is what I like doing.
Right.
Which is cool, but that means the fan base has to suffer with not the greatest decisions. And even the list of candidates that they have, like no one else even interviewed Brian Schottenheimer. No one else interviewed Deion Sanders or Jason Witten. It seems like Jerry Jones just wants a guy who's gonna be like the Jason Garrett, just like be nice to Jerry and don't get in his way when he does his press conferences. Whatever. That's the Cowboys aren't even in the playoffs. They have so much potential. All-pro quarterback, one of the greatest defensive players in the league, elite wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb. What are you doing? But the fans sometimes are crappy, not like racist crappy. Whatever. Anyways,
Will.
So the Bills aren't able to do it. Josh Allen, always the bridesmaid. Pat Mahomes back to the Super Bowl. They're trying to win 3 straight Super Bowl titles. Never been done in the history of the NFL, unless you go to like AFL, NFL championships with the Green Bay Packers when there were 4 teams. So this would be the first time anyone ever wins 3 straight Super Bowls. For that reason, I think they lose. I think the Eagles just have a day. We'll talk about the Eagles a little bit, but
look, I'm about to put my whole paycheck on the Eagles.
What?
I'm not.
If I had to put my whole paycheck on a team, I put it on the Chiefs. Oh, that's scary. That's why we don't do that. I don't do like dollar bets, bro. I'm on the like 100x parlay train. Just trying to get crazy stuff to happen. Shout out to that fast wide receiver for the Raiders, the little one. Was it Trey Tucker? Trey Tucker. Yeah, he got like 50 yards and like made the last parlay I cashed. It's like $2 for 130. Yeah. So the Chiefs are back in the Super Bowl. Let's talk about the NFC teams when we come back from this very quick commercial break. We don't really have a commercial break, but I heard other podcasts talking like that. I want to take like a little chill pill. I'm sorry. Hey,
look, but if you want to sponsor us, we'd love. You know what? Even if
your message here.
Right. If you want to give us something to do, send us something you want us to advertise, and Lance will definitely write a script for it, and I will sound like a dummy on the other end.
No, we're professionals.
But we'll definitely get it done. So,
yeah,
man,
we probably need to do some test runs.
No, for sure. Don't worry, guys. You can trust us.
We'll do some like spoofs. We should do that.
Just, cut it in. Half of you trusted. Never mind. We won't get into political stuff. But,
we're gonna take it
there. Look, man. Look, I know everybody had high hopes for the Commanders and Jaden Daniels. I'm on the train. I think Jaden Daniels is a great pro. Not he's going to be a great pro. I think he has a lot more great years ahead of him. I think he's a great pro now. I think the things he's doing with his training, like the VR stuff that he's doing now, I think that's going to be a really big part of the league soon. We both do. Me and Lance here. We support that here at the show. But it
wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault they lost by like 30.
No, that's what I'm saying. You got to defend, and it's hard to defend Saquon Barkley.
It does not help when you fumble the ball 3 times and lose all 3 fumbles, and all three of those fumbles lead to Eagles touchdowns,
right?
Which is even worse. But they 55 to 23. 28, something like that. If those 3 turnovers don't happen and they all aren't turned into Eagles touchdowns and the
Right.
Commanders kind of keep it more on pace, limit the number of possessions, this one would have
Right.
been a lot closer. But like you said, Eagles scored 7 rushing touchdowns, 3 by
Man,
Saquon Barkley, 1 on the first Eagles drive. First Eagles play from scrimmage, 60 yards,
60
break it to
yards.
the outside, break it back inside, get
Bro,
down the sideline. 60-yard
he
touchdowns?
spun out of a tackle. Like these two dudes were trying to tackle. He spun under that tackle and then proceeded to run like 30 more yards down the field for the touchdown.
What is the NFL legendary running back Mount Rushmore? Like the 4 greatest running backs, would you say?
It's gonna. There's one on my list. If I had to put it on the mountain, it's just because I'm biased. But I would alternate with actually somebody who probably deserves more to be on there. But I would start with Barry Sanders, Walter Payton, Jerome Bettis,
Oh,
and
Jerome
then
Bettis, yeah.
Jerome Bettis, and then my fourth, of course, would be Bo Jackson. He didn't do much in the league because he didn't have that much time. And if you look at his stats, it's really like, yeah. But for me, he's always been my favorite player of all time. But if someone was like, nah, come on, man, pick somebody, then I would change him up with another Raider who would be Marcus Allen. So if we're talking non-biased, it'd be again Marcus Allen, Jerome Bettis, Barry Sanders, and the other guys.
Barry Sanders, Walter Payton.
Walter Payton.
What would Saquon have to do to break into that territory, that conversation? Do you think? He gave like an MVP level season, right?
For me,
100
he's not that
yards,
far.
multiple touchdowns.
No. Yeah, for me, he's not that far. So if those 4 guys are like my top 4, he's somewhere in like the top 6 or 7 for me.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. The second, he's on the second team, Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we were talking about it also on the Patreon. We talked a lot of football and the Super Bowl matchups. Sepha mentioned Adrian Peterson. I was thinking like in the recent running backs, Saquon, I mean, prime Ezekiel Elliott was getting fed a lot.
He
but
was.
Saquon feels like the more all-around home run hitter.
Zeke's fall off was so hard though that
oh my gosh, yeah.
I don't know if I can put him in. Like I
he
know
was a Charger this year.
I know he did. Oh, that's right. See,
they signed him for the playoff game and he didn't get in.
That's how bad he fell off. He became a Charger.
Shut up.
Sorry. You set yourself up for that one. No, yeah. I don't know. He did some great things. He was being great, but yeah.
What other modern running backs do you think kind of on that level? Derrick Henry. I mean, I'm thinking that's like fantasy, right? Derrick Henry was stuck on that Titans team, didn't win a lot, but I mean, Saquon's the same, right? Saquon's stuck on that Giants team, and like, yeah, you're an amazing talent, but your team never wins.
So that's the thing. And now that even like to Derrick Henry, he had such great highlights. Like he always had some 75-yard or 75-plus-yard run in the season. Like one of those runs, and you were like, why is that big man running so fast past DBs? So it was always that's always going to be fresh in our mind. Like even if he didn't have like a great season, we see highlights like that, and we were like, oh yeah, Derrick Henry, really good running back.
Strong running back.
That's why we're seeing that like with Saquon now. Saquon he's having the best season of his life. Shit, one of the best seasons of any running back's life right now. But also, he's putting up those big runs because let's be honest, Jalen Hurts has taken away so many touchdowns from Saquon this year. He could have way more touchdowns, but we've seen Saquon run 60 yards out. Was a 75, 74-yard the other night.
Down to the 1 yard line.
Right. He's got like 40-yard runs, and that's how he's been scoring on runs like that. He could have, like, imagine if they were giving him the ball besides the tush push. And I'm not saying he'd be more efficient. Of course, the tush push is more efficient, or sorry, the brotherly push, or whatever they're calling it out there. Yeah, we'd be talking about, I don't know how many more touchdowns he'd have and how much better of a season Saquon would be having right now. So if we're talking like modern Mount Rushmore running backs, definitely I'd put Saquon at 1 right now. I'd put him at 1.
Yeah. Will that defense show up? Well, I mean, will that run game be able to be the same? Man, they had Cam Jurgens, their center, injured but still dressed, and they had Lane Johnson playing center, a position he hasn't played since college. But then he gets hurt. He's got a bad knee. He's limping off the field. Jurgens has to come back in like the fourth quarter and finish the game. I didn't know that there were, problems on the offensive line like that, because I'm just thinking Lotta, Lane Johnson is going to
Right.
be okay. They still get the running game going, and I mean, again, influenced a lot by those 3 turnovers that turned into short fields and touchdowns.
Sure.
So I'm wondering if this is, the Chiefs end up winning a close game. The Eagles win by like 20 plus, but it was like the game script, right? You got a bunch of easy situations from those turnovers. It looks a lot better than it is. So maybe this, taking the stats from this anomaly of a game, 7 rushing touchdowns, even Will Shipley had, 77 yards to close out the game. Maybe it's not a good idea to kind of project that towards the Super Bowl, thinking that they're going to get the same thing. Saquon's going to get 114 yards, break off a 60-yard touchdown, have 3 touchdowns like that, because the Chiefs aren't going to turn the ball over. They're not going to turn the ball over 3 times, right? One of those fumbles was on the kick return, Jeremy Nichols. One of those fumbles was on like a drag route by Diami Brown. And then one of those fumbles was by a former Charger running back, Austin Eckler, when he tried to continue moving the ball, but he got punched out. I kind of was like, that's what you get. But also I was like, oh man, that sucks, because that was the big one. That was the latest fumble where they were like driving to make it a 1-score game. But it ends up being, the Eagles getting that flip and making it like a 2-score game, and making it kind of a lot more difficult for Washington to continue. So shout out to Austin Eckler, rock star. Hopefully he continues to get a contract. I don't know if he signed a multi-year deal with them or just a 1-year deal. The Commanders signed a lot of 1 years or like short contracts.
No, he's not on that list. So I think it was a 3-year deal he signed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Good.
he's
He
not.
wanted like 12 million a year, and Joe Ortiz just wasn't going to do it.
That's why I think that's why he ultimately chose the Redskins, because it was a longer term deal. De'Ami Brown though, De'Ami Brown and Bobby Wagner are probably 2 of the bigger names on that free agent list for the Commanders.
Okay. Yeah, I think the Commanders are going to be back. Jaden Daniels, if he kind of keeps this up, if this is year 1, if this is the floor, maybe a little bit of regression, and the Commanders will be okay, but they should at least be battling for the playoffs.
I mean, they got a young core
behind the
on both sides of the ball, so it's safe to say. And again, none of the real key guys like Allen on the defensive line. What is their other D tackle's name? I don't know. But both are, yeah, Deron Payne. Those 2 guys are staying unless they get traded or request to trade or anything like that. They're still on the roster. They're the anchor of that defense. They got Latimer for at least 1 more season.
The fool got burned up anytime they asked him to cover AJ Brown or Devontae Smith.
I mean, yeah. He's still one of the better corners in the league, though.
Yeah. I think they just wanted him to be able to Revis Island somebody. But...
Yeah. They got Frankie out there, and then the offense again is super explosive. Brian Robinson Jr. Talked about Jaden. Jaden's out there.
As long as you have that quarterback and he's that calm in big situations, you're going to be all right. You're going to have a chance.
Yeah. So they should be back. Playoff contention at least.
Yeah. They're going to be in contention.
I like the Eagles though. Going into the Super Bowl, I like what they, like you said. I mean, you can't predict the bounce of the ball sometimes, and those 3 fumbles were unfortunate. And the one that was actually forced, by the defense, was the one given up to Austin Eckler gave up. Sorry. But
Poach.
I still like their defense against um the Chiefs' offensive line. I like those guys are hard to block. Uh, and with the running game, I'm pretty sure they'll scheme up something for their guys to keep the running game at least. I think Saquon at least can still get in there and put up 100. At least Saquon. Saquon he'll get his, and if Hurts just doesn't turn the ball over like we were talking about, he can just manage the
Yeah,
game.
Hurts and Mahomes low on the turnovers, but it feels like, I mean, to me at least, that Hurts is like not turning the ball over because he's not
He doesn't have
pushing.
to throw. Right.
He. There was this one-on-one AJ Brown versus Latimer up the left side, uh, and that was. It seemed like the primary read on the play. He saw it. It was a little iffy, sure, but it was one-on-one, and it was AJ Brown. So I would have thrown it up, but he
Right.
ends up pulling it down, going the other way. So it feels like he doesn't put the ball in harm's way, which is cool, right? Don't turn the ball over, protect the ball. But there's also like a limitation on how advantageous, like how much advantage he wants to take of, his skill players. Like
Right.
I don't know if it's not he doesn't trust himself or he's very self aware. He's like, that's a no for me, dog, and he just pulls it down, dumps it off to the
Hey,
tight end or something. Mahomes, on the other hand, feels like he's still making the crazy throws, strong throws, fast zips, uh, but they're not in bad situations unless it gets like tipped or something. They
he's
haven't had a
having
turnover. Like they hadn't had a turnover since like the middle of the season. Like I think they had a fumble or an interception versus the Bills when they lost to them. Zero turnovers for the Chiefs until like a fumble last yesterday. So the ball bounces every which way, but some teams hold on to it a lot better, and it's like the Chiefs are less likely to do what the Commanders did. So I don't
you
think that
just jinxed
those
them.
opportunities are going to be there.
They're about to
I
have
hope so.
they're about
I
to have
hope
fire
so.
now.
I hope I just jinxed the Chiefs. Um, are there
Like,
any
hey,
like storylines from Eagles Chiefs that immediately popped to mind?
that's what I just said. You just said it. It was AJ Brown you said on the one-on-one 50-50 chance.
Hmm.
Yeah. Hurts isn't throwing to him. They don't like each other.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, then I was thinking, I was like, when they look
No,
back
no,
at
no.
that tape,
I
there's
hope
gonna
not.
be drama. There's gonna be beef because it's like, why didn't you throw it up? He's like, it's like either Jalen Hurts says, I didn't trust my arm to get it there, or I didn't trust you
To
to
catch it.
to catch it, or at least, fight for it if it's about to get intercepted.
Right. And you know what's the one thing I think, like you just said, like one of the storylines is I just saw a clip again of Sirianni, the last game with the Chiefs
Oh,
when he
hell
was
no.
like, yeah,
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 Chiefs fans. Oh, hear you talking now.
why?
Huh? I'm like, oh,
Why?
this guy's so antagonistic.
And then he goes into the press conference and he's like, oh, I just told him I was just kidding. It was a joke. You jackass.
It's yeah. I said
When the
it
coach
multiple
does it, it's
times. I don't like
unforgivable.
this guy,
Yeah, right. If it's a player, you're
but
like, nah, dumb player. You know what I
make
mean?
yeah, that he's going to be gone eventually. Whatever, he'll probably
Yeah.
I don't think coaches that make two Super Bowls, not even win, right, but just making it to the final game of the season. I think that kind of guarantees that we're going to be stuck with Nick Sirianni as the
For at
Eagles
least one
coach
more
for,
season.
I think, a lot more seasons. I think they're going to
Oh,
be like, oh, he at least, unless they like Marty Schottenheimer him. You know what I'm saying? Like oh yeah, you 14-2, first overall seed or first seed, yeah, fired. No returner, get in here. Uh, I mean, I hope it's like that, right? Because I want the Eagles to have a chance and to like really be able to root for them. I need a different coach. I need a different coach to be leading them. I want Jalen Hurts to win. I want AJ Brown to win. I want Devontae Smith, Saquon for sure. Jordan Mailata. I need him to get rings. Um, I don't want Sirianni to get rings.
look,
And I'd be
this
willing to let the Chiefs pick up a three-peat so that Sirianni hopefully gets fired after like another internal fight next year.
just do what I do, man. My reason for cheering for the Philadelphia Eagles is because Noah cheers for them, and
Oh,
I want to see
because our family cheers for them.
right.
So you cheer for anybody.
It's not my team's not in. You know what I mean?
My team's not in, so. My thing is like we're biased because our teams are in the AFC West.
Oh, for sure.
We don't like the Chiefs for that. And if we're going over like greatest GOAT stature, right? For our quarterbacks, Justin Herbert, AOC, whoever's going to be the future Raiders quarterback, Geno Smith.
I don't like the way you said that.
I don't think it's going to be AOC, but whoever the quarterbacks are going to be in our division already have a long mountain climb just to reach Mahomes, right? And then we got to go over that to like, better than him and then beat Brady, whatever. If Herbert's ever going to have a chance to do that, the Chiefs need to stop winning now because we're already hella behind, right? And that's my selfish reason for wanting the Philadelphia Eagles to win. But as an analyst, I think the Chiefs are going to win a close one. It's going to be boring.
As an analyst, I'm still like, yo, F the Chiefs.
Professionally, get wrecked.
Justin Herbert's in the championship. I thought you were going to say they're going to need to trade him too.
Trade him for the draft picks.
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Pick up Dylan Gabriel, Oregon.
Bro, if another
dual threat quarterback.
If another person on Twitter is going to try to argue with me that Dylan Gabriel is going to come into the NFL and lead a team to the championship.
Oh, you don't think so? No chance?
No, I don't. He doesn't have the arm.
We've seen crazy stuff happen. That's cool. Speaking of the Raiders needing a quarterback and the Raiders in general.
We don't need a quarterback, okay? We're fine. We're fine.
Yeah, they're okay.
I don't know if you've heard that before, but we're fine.
The Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders, officially introducing new general manager John Spytek. Is it John?
Spytek.
And new head coach Pete Carroll of the University of Southern California. Greatness, legend. Also, led the Legion of Boom, the Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson at quarterback, another person that might be available. Today in a press conference at their headquarters, Marshawn Lynch was there. He interrupted the press conference to say,
Raiders. Love it.
I saw that clip of him catching up to Pete Carroll in the hallway after. And he was like, "What's up, man?" He's like, "What are you doing here?" Like, you didn't hear me yelling at you earlier? Was that you? Yeah, man. Who else gonna yell at you when you talking in a press conference? Yeah. I was worried that there was still gonna be like beef from that throwing the ball at the 1 yard line instead of handing it off to Marshawn Lynch.
You know what? Media always has the best way of blowing things out of proportion and having them drag along because they know nothing about what goes on with their lives outside of football. You know what I mean? They just speculate. So that's crazy. Watching him be there, Marshawn is a Raider for life. I know he won the championship while he was in Seattle, but he's from Oakland. You know what I mean? Just from that, now he's got his fan, right? He's a Raider fan.
Mm-hmm.
So, and plus, yeah, I mean, his turnaround in his career came with Pete Carroll. So I'm sure that has
BeastMode, Beast Great. I'm just glad that they're they're friends and now they're like meeting up at this next stop when they're both with the Raiders. At least the Raiders embassy, Raiders new head coach.
Yeah.
What is your feeling about this time? What do you think about the hires, the new general manager, and the new coach, Pete Carroll?
I like him. Spytek is young. He's coming in.
What a crazy last name. I'm sorry.
Right.
Brady hired Spytek?
Exactly what I was thinking. Wow. We're gonna win for sure now. Hey man, don't make me say stuff like that against a team I'm cheering for. What's wrong with you, man? I like the hires, man. I like the hires. just like they said, the way they're gonna mesh is all the experience that comes with Pete Carroll. You know, all the know-how he does because he was also like I think he was president of
Yeah,
uh
president in Seattle.
yeah in Seattle, so he also has front office experience. But
Yeah.
he said that both of them will be consulting equally on Dan
Oh,
be saying
oh, rookie GM,
right,
veteran coach,
right.
and okay.
So they both were saying that, excuse me, his experience plus Spytek's energy and spunk and his love
Oh
for football,
no, not the intangibles.
right? His love for football, but also like the whole time Spytek was at, and this was a big thing for them because somebody asked them how they how they feel about what they're going to do to build the team. Is it going to be a lot of free agency, or is it going to be drafting
Yeah.
and and building, you know. And so Spicek went back to his days in Tampa, which were his recent days, and how more than 60% of that roster that won the Super Bowl was drafting and building, you know. So that's what they want to do with the Raiders. They more want to draft and build through that way. Of course, you're gonna have to get some guys, you know, if they can, some big names in free agency wherever they can to add to the team. Um, and that's great to hear. Also, Pete Carroll, same thing, kind of set the same attitude as AP when AP got there. Is guys coming to work when they come to play for the Raiders, they got to buy in all the way. You know, no half stepping. Don't come in here and just they got to buy in. They got to want to be a Raider when they get there. They got to want
Hmm.
to play with the guys there. They got to buy into the philosophy. And so
I
it's
like what some of Pete had to say. He
no.
was dropping some bars in that press
Yeah,
conference. He's
he was, and that's also as a Raiders fan, both as a Raiders fan and then somebody who works with you on the show. You know, that's what you want to hear from somebody. And so, as a Raiders fan, you're excited to hear that because, and again, I'm being biased, and a lot of coaches come in with this fire, with that type of attitude. But Pete Carroll's been in the league for a long time. You know,
you
um,
believe him when he says we're going to
yeah,
turn this around. We're
and
going
you've
to
seen him do
build
it,
the culture. It's going to go through the
right?
players.
He did it at
I
FC.
did I really yeah, and he's got, proven track record.
Yeah,
I like what he said when he was talking about everyone's got to come to work. Yeah, the culture's got to go through the players.
yep,
We're going to show them the way. And he said and I'm going to make sure that this message gets out. To be a great team, you need to be a great teammate. I was like,
exactly.
oh, that is such a culture building freaking quote right there.
And I don't know if Crosby was in the building or if he was just speaking, you know, out loud, but he was just like, and that's why we came in and we got Max. And he was like pointing in the back, so I don't know if Max was in the building, but he was like, so that's what we told Max. Max, you got to talk to your guys and let them know that we're coming for you guys. So yeah, great thing to hear.
I like it.
Yeah.
I,
So
I'm always worried when the Raiders hire someone new because, like, it's always like, I can see this working out where the Raiders become very successful again.
for sure. I mean, I'm not gonna pretend like I'm a big AP guy. I really loved AP. I wanted him to stay into the season.
What is
Um,
he doing now?
Nothing yet. They haven't said anything, but
He's getting
he's
paid.
also yeah, he's getting paid, but he's also proven himself on the defensive side of the ball. So there's a lot of defensive coordinator positions open, whether in
Okay.
the NFL or the college ranks, and he's super qualified to do in either league. But I think right now, like you said, he's collecting a paycheck, so he doesn't really have to rush back into finding a position with somebody. But because of we've seen him coach with the Raiders, as a guy that fired up all the time about football, I think
Mm-hmm.
it won't be too long till he's like itching to get back on the field. I think, just because of the love he has for the game. So I know he's sad. He was a Raiders fan his whole life. He didn't play for the Raiders, didn't spend any time on the active roster, but uh, he's an LA guy. So Yeah, I mean, I was sad to see him leave. I wish they would have held on to him in some kind of capacity, but again, like we
They
just
gave
talked.
him a head coach contract. They could have. I guess the
That's
only way
yeah,
they could have held on to him was to keep him the head coach.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
Do
And
you?
for him too, like I don't know if you take a demotion, like
No, hell
to be
no.
coach.
You
Yeah,
got the contract. You at least gonna pay
right.
me. I'm not gonna freaking hang
Yeah,
out of here.
exactly.
Do you have a problem with the Raiders, even though it's a former Super Bowl winning coach, bringing in someone that's kind of old? This is a guy with all white hair. Like, is there going to be an age gap problem possibly?
I don't think so. We haven't seen it any time when he was with
Mm-hmm.
Seattle. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And he was there just recently as 2 years ago. So I don't know if that's going to be much of a problem. He's been around younger guys his whole career, so I think he knows. Uh, I think he
he
knows
knows
how.
how to communicate that
Yeah,
avenue.
he's always like he's always been a player's coach. Um, but also the one thing that not really the age, but being a defensive coach. I was talking to my guy, man, Jay Somala. He's a big Rams fan, but he asked me how I felt about the hire, and I told him I liked it, and he said he did it because he couldn't respect the team that went out and got a defensive coach, knowing that the league is an offensive run league now. Very valid
Oh,
reason, very valid reason, and they went after Ben Johnson. That's that. I tried to tell him I was like, well, they did go after Ben Johnson, but they didn't get him, and he said, well, they should have tried harder because you know his point was that the league is an offensive run league now,
I
and
agree with that.
yeah, no, I did too. He had great points. Uh, League is an offensive run league now. Besides your offensive coordinator, who is probably going to leave your team if you go. So if the Raiders go out, he said if the Raiders go out and get another great offensive coordinator, how long is he going to be there till another team is going to want their offensive coordinator to be the head coach of their team? So
Mm-hmm.
really, you're just like you're building somebody up to go be someone else's head coach, kind of like is what
Yeah,
it is.
your head coach's system has to be able to, you know,
Right, reach throughout the whole
withstand
team.
losing people. But that's
Yeah,
just the cost of being successful.
no, for sure, and
Yeah.
that was my point too. And but he was also saying like and the league is a quarterback driven league. So
Yes. You
as
need
a
a
head
quarterback.
coach,
Is
right?
this the season? Do you want to see Spytek and Carroll go after a quarterback? Are you willing to wait another year? You guys got the sixth overall pick. What do you think they should be
I think they
supposed
can,
to do
but
with that?
also Jay also made another great point. He was saying like quarterbacks, like do you want them to go and trade up for it? I said, I don't believe in any of the two quarterbacks right now at the top of the list. And he was
Mm-hmm.
saying, well, if you're not going to take a swing, because he said, you know, there's no guarantees. Look at the current quarterbacks who are tops in the league: Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, well, Jaden Daniels, guys like that. No one knew they were going to be a big thing. You know, but teams went out and they took a chance on some of these guys, and
Yeah, Josh Allen was a project. They
for
got a
sure,
bunch of hate.
he was drafted high, but he was a project because he
But
played at
Mahomes
Wyoming.
was a project too. He was just like a big sideline
Also,
thrower.
also drafted high though. Both guys drafted very high. So, but I get his point. Like teams traded up to get them, and they took the chance on it. Because if you don't take a swing, how are you going to hit the home run, right? So I get that. I believe in that.
You
But I
think?
do think,
I do not think the Raiders should trade up.
you know what? I if it's a good enough deal, go ahead, do it. Shadir Sanders, who I think is the better quarterback, um, going further. I don't know. I just think he's gonna have a better career. I don't know. I think if you have a chance, I think you're gonna swing this year. I think go ahead and take it. Again, he might not be the starter, but at least you're gonna have a guy there that you're gonna be able to build that team around. While these two guys first come in, he'll be able to learn. Kind of just like you heard in the press conference, they were talking about how Tom Brady came in and he was able to learn under somebody. And I think since he's leading the way, the stories are rumors that Mark Davis is really tapped in with Tom Brady about finding the quarterback, and Tom Brady's really big. part of the process of getting a quarterback in there. Um, I think it wouldn't be too bad to go out there if you can get Shadur Sanders at one, but that would be the thing. So now you're gonna have to trade up to one because the other teams aren't really looking to get a quarterback until like
You
you know what I
trade up
mean?
to two and just like, well,
Right,
whichever one's here, we'll get that one.
right. But so the Titans would be, and they're like 50-50 because they could just stay and be like, look, Will Levis did enough for us to be like, let's give him one more season. You know, let's try to make it a run with Will
I
Levis. He
uh
showed promise. He's got an arm. You know what I mean? He's made
sure,
some
yeah,
made
he
some
has arm talent. He just does dumb stuff.
dumb stuff.
All right, I'm going to say a quarterback's name, and you just say yes or no, whether you want them as
When
the
have you
Raiders
ever
quarterback.
known me to say yes or no?
Well, I'm going to go through the
I'm,
list. So
I'm,
you,
I'm just kidding. You
all
go,
right,
go, go.
Pete Carroll is the new. Oh, Pete Carroll got some quarterback clips
He did.
too. In practice, he's the
You know
quarterback.
what? I think we'll pass right now.
All right, Aiden O'Connell. What?
I like the kid, man. I like the kid.
2025 Raiders starting quarterback, week 1, Aiden O'Connell.
Maybe.
Russell Wilson.
No.
Sam Darnold.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers.
F no.
Tom Brady.
Yes.
Trade up for a rookie quarterback.
If it's not Shador, don't trade up.
Take a quarterback at number 6.
No.
Take one of the later quarterbacks in this draft. Jalen Milroe, Quinn Ewers, Will Howard, Jalen Gabriel, Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart.
You want Jackson Dart?
I do. I like him. Look, there's a lot of guys that play college ball. And I'm not saying he didn't have a great career either, because he was pretty good. You know, he was good at USC. I thought he deserved probably. I think he got run out of town
Yeah, he
a
dropped
little
that one
too
game.
early. I think. Yeah, I think he should. I think he should have just worked with him. He was pretty good at Mississippi State. I'm sorry, Ole Miss, not Mississippi State. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. Yeah, I like him. Prototypical build. He's a big kid. You know, I know a lot of people probably expect me to see Jalen Milroe. That's probably the sexy pick, as people say. You know, the kid's built like a tank. Jalen Milroe. He's got wheels on him. He's got wide receiver speed. He's got a cannon of an arm, but no accurate. Like he's
No
not very
accuracy.
yeah, not very consistent. Very consistent.
Kirk Cousins.
No,
Geno Smith.
no.
All right. I don't know who else is going to be a free agent quarterback coming up, but
You know what? I'll take Justin Fields.
Ooh, I think
So
I just saw that Rooney, the owner, was like, "I want to keep Fields." I think that
this is the week that this is the week that they decide on which guy they're gonna extend.
Oh, nice. Oh, I don't.
Yeah,
I think they should let both of them go. Actually, no, keep Fields,
if they let
but
both of them
definitely don't
go,
bring Russell Wilson because you got to pay big money for it this season.
yeah, this season he gets money.
This
He gets
season he's
money.
going to get money because
Yeah.
he was on that Denver Broncos last year.
Yeah, they were paying him. Well, I mean, they're paying him anyway. So,
What do you I don't know. What are your expectations though for Pete Carroll? Do you think this is going to turn around real quick? Do you think it's going to be a slow build?
no,
It's going to flop. You guys are going to have to find another coach soon.
I think it's gonna be a quick enough turnaround that we're gonna see it's turning around, but it's not gonna be quick enough where uh like we're gonna go straight to like the Super Bowl and things like that. But I do believe we'll see them at least compete, to be competitive for a playoff spot. I think they'll be in contention for a playoff spot.
Do the Raiders with this new coach need to make the playoffs by a certain year, or they risk getting fired, put on the hot seat, or get
I
rid
do
of
because
town?
one, the age thing, he is older, so
Yeah.
I don't know. And then two, also the experience. Like if he can't get it done in a certain amount of years, then well, like what are you waiting for? And the whole thing you really got Pete Carroll was because he was able to turn some of these teams around that he took over pretty quick. You
Yeah,
know,
I thought he was always a great culture builder, and like people love playing for him, and
that's
they play
exactly
hard
why
for
they
him, and
brought him.
he sets it up where the players are listened to, feel like part of the system. So, uh, yeah, I don't like that Pete Carroll is the Raiders coach now because it feels like the Raiders have
Hope.
made the good, not flashy, not just
Right,
getting the wide
right.
receiver that runs a 4-2 with like this is like
Hey, it
we're
worked for a second.
grounded, we're grounded, we're hiring a winner, and it's gonna, it's not like we're hiring a little coordinator for cheap or we're
No,
taking a big swing that's gonna miss. So this is
I
this
think
this could be really good. It's like an adult is like, guys,
running. Yeah,
this is
no,
where we're going.
right. I think the big thing that has uh Raider Nation torn is that people want to hold on to that old Raider culture. You know, that come in, beat everybody up. Don't
Oh,
give no.
like gangsters,
Yeah,
like mean people,
right,
mean
thugs.
bullies.
Right, like they want that culture, which is cool because it shows strength. It
You
shows
think
like
they
if
can't be that with
well,
old white man Pete Carroll?
no, I don't think. I think they can attitude wise, but
Lynch
culture
and a Boom
wise,
was still nasty, right?
right. But the culture within there was different. You know, uh, it was more about winning than trying to defy the rest of the league. You know,
Ah, okay,
you know.
okay.
So I think they can
Winning
still
first.
come. Yeah, I think they can come in, still be tough, be rough, be nasty on the field, but I think the culture change around there is probably that's the biggest thing I'm excited for is him coming in and kind of just changing the culture. Not that AP didn't try to do a good job with it, but AP didn't have the experience, the winning experience behind him. And I know a lot of
Yeah.
guys, well, you just need to let him build that winning experience. Well, not everybody's gonna have the time to wait around for it, especially in a professional league. Guys' jobs are on the line everywhere, not just AP's job. Players too. They come to a place they want to win. So yeah, tough decisions were made, and I think they made a good one bringing him in. Obviously, Ben Johnson was the most popular pick for a lot of teams that were looking for a head coach. But again, in this day and age, you got to have it's more than just money too. Um, for Ben Johnson, I think the most attractive thing about Chicago was having a young stud at quarterback. You know, in Caleb Williams, someone that he can first year. He just finished, so really Ben Johnson come in there and kind of mold Caleb Williams into what he wants it to be, wants him
Yeah.
to be, and everybody else should
Those are good
follow
starting tools
right,
for your
right,
franchise quarterback.
yeah.
He's
So
gonna get better.
yeah, now I'm just a lot of the coordinators are being picked. There's a lot of
Oh,
guys
do the Raiders hire coordinators yet?
haven't hired coordinator yet. It's funny because Scott Turner was there already, and he's a super popular name right now in the league to become a
Scott
coordinator.
Turner.
So North Turner's son.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
He took over late into the season.
Oh, right.
Yeah, with the Raiders, he was their passing game coordinator, and something else. I think no, he wasn't the quarterback's coach, I think. But yeah, he's been named. I know they're looking at Chip Kelly's not with the Raiders, but his name has been thrown around to come back into the NFL and coach in the same position that he is right now at Ohio State. Um, man, Notre Dame just lost their DC to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
It's that carousel. It's that time of the year. Coaches
that's
going back and forth, fired, hired.
yeah. No, a lot of people were like for Notre Dame. If you have a team, and there were so many people worried, Notre Dame just went to the championship, and they were like, "Well, we're losing our coordinator. Oh no, the sky's falling. What Marcus Freeman? What are you doing, letting him go?" They lost also their GM. Colleges have GMs now, guys. They lost their GM, but look, that's exactly what they brought Marcus Freeman in to do, to develop those positions, and he's done that. And now every university, every program in the country wants guys from your staff. Why? Because you're doing the right thing. You know, so that's great.
Developing,
Right.
coaching,
Developing,
scheming.
coaching, and
I like it.
yeah. So I'm excited
You
to
just
see.
want to talk about the
I
freaking
do.
Irish.
I'm so excited that so
And to
fired
bring
up,
it back to Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman is
so
doing
fired up,
it.
so fired up, bro. But no, yeah, the Raiders. I'm excited to see um OC and DC.
Yeah.
Patrick Graham. I don't think he's coming back. If even if they asked him, because he's getting head coaching looks. So I don't think he makes it back. But I like Jeff Ulbrich if they decided to bring him in as DC.
Okay. Okay.
Ulbrich. Uh
Oh, I think he got hired. I think
oh,
he's
did
like
he?
the DC of the Falcons now or something.
Oh,
I have to
son of
check.
a.
I'll Google that. But
No, yeah, it might be
shout out
because
to
I
Jeff
his
Olbert.
name. Yeah, his name's been flying around too. Hell, honestly, I would have followed Robert Saleh back to San Francisco.
Hey, that's a good. I'm glad that they can do that. Get back
Yeah,
together.
for sure. Yeah, but yeah, excited. Just like you were last year when Harbaugh was there. Me too with AP. You guys went out and got Greg Roman, so that's cool.
Is it? Yeah,
He,
Jeff Ulbrich is the new defensive coordinator for the Atlanta
oh, good for
Falcons.
him. Shout out to him. But yeah, I know he said in the press conference that he's gonna want to bring in guys that were with him in Seattle, some of the staff because uh
Gus
well because
Bradley.
who, oh I don't know about Gus Bradley,
Oh, Darren
but
Bevel.
Bevel was actually one of the names since he's been in Miami, so they're looking at Bevel as well. But he wanted to bring in guys that he won't have to be out there and have to explain the culture and the system to, you
Sure.
know. So and I get that. I get that.
Standard Bears too.
Right. So
It's a new day, man. It's a new
it
day in
is.
Vegas. The AFC West. We blame this all on Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, the C
Yeah.
Nolo making a great trio, and forcing the rest of the AFC West to go and get a bunch of friggin'
Right.
Super
Bunch
Bowl
of
winning
winners.
coaches. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wait, has
Exactly.
Harbaugh won the Super Bowl? I don't.
No, he's been there though.
He's been to the Super Bowl. He's won a national title.
Yeah, he's
But
one of
John's got all the Super Bowls. All right, yeah. So exciting times, of change.
it is. And this
There's
is
hope
one of my
in the air. I can feel it. Raider fans,
those
they're
one of
not
my
loud
favorite times.
yet, but they're standing up. They're getting on their feet. They're getting ready.
I know some of you are probably like, well, when he said that, some of you were probably expecting me to be super loud, but we just moved to Piwalo. And
Oh no. Is your environment situation causing you not to be your true self?
hell no. Right.
Raider! Yeah, I can't. Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that. The Raiders are definitely one of those teams where it feels
Yeah,
like the league is doing better, like Spytek said, when they're crushing it. So
for sure. Yeah.
let's hope for the best.
Look, and also
I don't
Spytek throughout the whole I should have counted how many times he said this, but he's always like, yeah, he even said like I hate to overuse this, but you gotta love football. You
you
gotta
gotta. You gotta. It hurts so much. You
that's
have
what he
to
said.
work so hard. You gotta love it to do it.
You gotta love it to do it. You gotta come in and you gotta love what
You'll
you're doing.
find those guys though. Like I'm
That's
saying,
it.
instead of, I mean, just the last thing on the Raiders before we do shot, instead of trading away future picks to go up to get a maybe workout quarterback, Shadur, Cam Ward, like you said, there's not the full belief in those guys. Even though it's possible, right? They can run good systems and you can have a good offense, but in the NFL,
For sure.
everything's faster, everyone's stronger. Um, yeah, I hope you guys take like a blue chipper, give you guys
You know what?
a defensive tackle, another defensive tackle, or an offensive lineman that's going to
No,
play for 12 years.
if anything, I think they draft Abdul Carter, pair him with
Who's that? What is
with
he? Who's that?
defensive end out of Penn State who
Nice.
was wrecking people this year, and you put him on the other side of Max Crosby, and you just have them go ham because you're getting Christian Wilkins
Yeah.
back. Trayvon Merrick
You
was
guys
just
run like a 3-4, 4-3. I guess it will
well.
change now to what Pete
Patrick
Carroll's
Graham,
defense is.
Patrick Graham might have been like a base 4-3,
Uh,
but he ran his own hybrid system. It was like a four. I think he ran like a 4-2-5. but his system was super like
Like
hybrid.
nickel.
Yeah, he had guys like uh they have like in college they have Vipers now. They have guys like that, positions named like that. They're not
Mhm.
actual safeties, actual linebackers or actual like cornerbacks, but they kind of do a variety of things within that area.
Yeah.
That's kind of how Patrick Graham ran his defense. So and then one last thing,
Is
sorry.
is is Graham still there?
No, no, because
Oh,
he's been I think with the current regime out, they just kind of just gutted everything and was like, see you,
damn.
you know?
Even the good coaches, you gotta find a way to.
No, like positional coaches are different. Like OC and DC, because they're gonna work directly with your head, like that's your head coach's guys.
Uh-huh.
Like I don't know if you hold on to the guys that were there before, because you're kind of like, what's your
But
loyalty?
those sergeants, those
Right,
position coaches that have
right.
like their position groups and
Because they have the
knows
ear of the players that are
everyone and
there.
their family,
Exactly,
their freaking birthdays, their
exactly.
play styles, all that.
Yeah. So you
That's a
kind of
lot
go
of
through
information you're losing if you cut those coaches.
exactly. Yeah. So and if you go through the files, like when you come in on your first couple of days, you go through those files and you figure out which guys you might want to keep, like a linebackers coach, a running back coach, anything like that. So
Uh, yeah. Hey, good luck. This is gonna be a really good move for you guys, and
it
I
is.
hope the best. Any shout outs before we wrap up?
Yeah, man. Shout out to my plug, man. I know a lot of you
What?
guys like, what? No, my shoe plug. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they just came out with these Wizard of Oz. Actually, they came out with two pairs.
Oh,
I got the original pair, but they also came out with these ruby red ones that were super fire.
oh,
But
get out of here.
but these are like Wizard of Oz shoes, and the print is like they had like the was it sunflowers or they no, I forgot what they were, but
Tulips.
yeah. So like what I mean, like has is just the one with the let me show you. Well, on the back it says but you can see that. Where's the camera? Oh, there it
Put it in
is.
front of your chest.
There.
Yeah.
You see the camera? It says
Is there
no place
Wizard
like
of
home.
Oz? No place like Homes.
No place like home. Not Mahomes, bro. Don't do that. No place like Mahomes.
No
And
place
so,
like
I mean,
Mahomes.
if you see the tongue, I don't know if you can see that. It says Wizard of Oz on the tongue. You know what I mean? I did a
Do
whole
you resell shoes? Do you collect them? Do you wear them?
I wear my shoes. There I do have pairs that I like collect. Like I have maybe like I'm lying. Maybe like three pairs I haven't worn yet that I'm sitting on
How many total pairs though do you have
in the house.
to your name in the new
uh,
house? 12.
uh, you know, in the house right now. Two, four, six, eight, 10. I I have a little over 30 pairs with me right now. Uh, in a collection.
Yeah.
In the collection, I'm just gonna say I have more than a safe bet. I have more than 150 shoes. In the
150 pairs in total
no, I
in
have a
storage.
yeah. I mean, it might be closer to like 210. Uh, but
God.
who's counting? Uh,
Your plug. Well,
uh,
hey, what's how does your plug? What's the hookup? They work somewhere, or
no. So
you pay them? How does this work?
he's my brother on my Filipino side. He's my first cousin. Uh, his father was my father's brother, my uncle Teddy. Uh, God rest his soul. Um, but we all so my dad, his brother moved to Samoa before my dad did, and then when he got established back in the day, he called over to my dad and was like, "Hey, come over to Samoa. There's
Said
money to be
ride
made."
that wave.
Right? That's exactly what he did. Got on his surfboard, rode the forever wave from the Philippines to Pangu, jumped off his surfboard in Pangu, and just they lived out there. They made a life out there. Um, my dad met my mom out there. my uncle and my auntie Ninfa, they established a life out there. Honestly, if you ask my dad now, you know, anytime he says home, it's been a while though. He's always thought of Samoa as home. He talks about going home. He talks about Samoa, not the Philippines. We asked him the other day, um, like, what was he saying? Oh, we asked him, it's like, oh, you want to go back to the Philippines? He says, why would I go back to the Philippines? I'm Samoan. So, you know,
Why do I want to?
right. So, Anthony Dolau, Tony Dolau, that's my plug. He's in San Diego, but he's probably who got me into shoes as a kid, because even when we were younger, like, oh my gosh, you always had that older cousin that you wanted to be like. You thought his life was so cool, so and he was about that, like shoes and stuff like that. Super knowledgeable guy with music, everything, just all around dude. Shout out to St. Joe's. He went to St. Joe's, graduated from there, St. Joseph's in Philly. So even that, the culture there, you know, is what grew for him and for me. He lives in San Diego, but they have groups where they get together and they're all shoe collectors, shoe buyers, shoe resellers.
They do
And when
swaps or
so what
appreciation.
they do drops. So like if something comes out, you know how they have raffles now, or you gotta get online and wait. So like they'll all get together, and if someone needs something, or someone's like, hey, I need this, and the other guy's not gonna get it, they all go into that one shop, or they go online to that one place, put all their names in, and see who gets it.
Wow.
And yeah, and that's how they beat these guys who have like bots. So and then they
Okay.
have,
Teamwork.
amen, and they have guys all around the city. This was a special drop at a shop called Arts and Rec in San Diego. They have an online store. You can go on and check. They sometimes they have super exclusive stuff. So yeah, that's my plug. He's never failed me, man. You know what I mean? He's never failed me, and that's, ooh, man, yeah,
Nice.
super
It's,
cool.
if people are listening and also want him to plug them, do they like get in contact with him? Is there a payment plan? Is there? How's that?
Yo,
How's
hit me, and
that hit
I,
me
I'm
up.
not. I'm
I'll
not
hit.
going to ask you. Don't worry. I'm not saying hit me so I can charge you. I'm saying so you can go through me, and then I can tell him, and we can see what we can do. And he's cool, man. You know what I mean? So if you need some, you let me know. I wouldn't be the one that you tip. It would be him, honestly. So uh,
You
yeah,
know a guy. You can connect people
I know a
to
guy.
the shoe lovers out there.
Yes, yes. To
Nice.
so yeah, man. Shout out
I
to
would.
him.
I would never buy you shoes. One, you probably already have the pair. Two, they'd be so basic compared to like
What are you talking about?
your
I have
collection.
basic pairs. What are you talking about?
I
I
try to make it like something fancy or something, but it'd probably be like I'd get ripped off. It's a knockoff. You're like, oh, this is supposed to have two seams here. This is, but thanks. Appreciate the thought. It's the thought that counts. Ooze.
I don't discriminate against. If you wear reps, that's fine. You're okay. Don't worry. I'm not one of those guys. You wear your reps proud.
Nice. Uh,
Also, shout out to Cepha on the album that just dropped this Friday,
there you
uh,
go.
and his birthday too, just passed.
Mm.
So shout out to him, man, for not just like always putting out music, but always putting out quality music, like great music. I don't have ever heard an album that hasn't hit like. He's got shit you can bop your head to, shit you can, just ride in the car to, and then he's got all the introspective, like in your head type thinking shit
There's
going through.
there's one song on this new album where he says chillax. Chillax, bro. And every time I hear that lyric, I just start busting up laughing, bro. I
Yeah, I
mean,
remember they were
it's
talking about
so
slang,
him, it's so
right?
real. It's yeah. Therapy Sessions by Cepha M. It's out in the public right now. Apple Music,
Hell
Spotify.
yeah.
Definitely check that out. Also, on the next Polytickin episode, we're going to talk to him. We're gonna do like a genius like lyrics breakdown. Maybe not a full lyric by lyric breakdown, but we're gonna talk to him about all the songs on the album. So if you do listen to it, and want us to ask him any certain questions about a bar, about the production of a song, about the beat, about, you know, the thought process on any of it, DM us the questions and we'll ask him when we do that Q&A for Sefa M.
Oh, fire. I got to get my burner account up.
Bro, just let me know, man. Just let me know, and I'll let him know. There's some bars that I'm already taking note of and just be like, I don't have a question. I just wanted to say this bar. Like, that's going to happen a few times, I'm sure. Yeah, nice. Definitely happy birthday to Sefa M. And if you don't know what to get him for his birthday, go stream his new album, Therapy Sessions by Sefa M.
Hey, look, he's also looking to do projects. So if you feel like it too, he's got his contacts up there. If you want to donate to any of his projects, want to donate, you know, to any of the project, whether it be his music or like Polytickin podcast or, you know, yeah, hit him up. He wouldn't mind.
No, he wouldn't. Definitely support the Patreon, patreon.com/the Polytickin podcast. We do an extra episode every week. It's it's definitely, we get off our realer takes that we probably don't want to say publicly. And then questions, different stuff that we're talking about there.
Look, hey, how many people want to see a rap cipher with Sefa, Lance, and Marcus? Please contact me. Let me know. Why are you laughing?
I haven't written so long. I'm freestyling. I'm freestyling in my head all the freaking
music
time.
Videos out, and I watch Lance.
Whoa! Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Ballinesian podcast. Shout out to Levasa Island Apparel. Shout out to Levasa, brother Uri. www.levasaislandapparel.com, but also on Instagram at le_Vasa, LE_VASA. DM him for orders. Place your order. You can place it directly and get it shipped to you directly instead of ordering it through the website.
Yes, sir. Yo, Sefa would agree with me. The coconut song. That's the song.
Shout out to Forrest. Thank you for being here today. Thank you everybody for listening. That's all we got for this episode. Catch us next week when we really do our deep dive into who we think is going to win. We're going to have stats and a bunch of other stuff for the Super Bowl preview next week. But yeah, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for listening. Stay hydrated. Stay blessed. Stay balling. Love and light. Peace.
Raiders.
Yeah.